England that we have here, it is quite horrendous and we just can't cope. We can't cope with any weather. Why is the rain any different? I've got a surprise, guys. I'm actually, as you noticed, I'm actually wearing my pity because the cooking I'm doing this evening is for chutney all year round. And I am making, I don't know if you like them, please let me know if you do, is syrup sponge. Because I bought one the other day as like sort of a bit of a guilty pleasure. And they're very easy to make. But I decided to buy one. And, you know, it comes in the pot and everything. I'm not going to tell you which brand it is because I'm not going to put that down. But this is probably for all of them. They're probably all looking about the same. I bought this and literally put in pot. And when I flipped it over, honestly, it was the size of a biscuit. And it had no flavour. It had absolutely no flavour, no taste. And it was supposed to be syrup on the top, but I couldn't taste any sugar. So, guys, I'm here. I'm going to show you how to make my syrup sponge while actually using taking along a recipe because I think it's actually a cracking recipe. Obviously, I've made a few of my tweaks, and I'm going to get them in the steamer. And I use the steamer because it controls the heat and you can guarantee how long your puddings are going to take to cook. So I've already creamed some butter and sugar in my KitchenAid here. Thank God for the KitchenAid, I gotta say. I did do it by hand the other day for the dog cupcakes. Yeah, I do miss a mixer. So in here, I've pulled this forward so you can see. I'm going to turn it towards all that. Right, there we are. As you see, we've got some creamed butter and sugar. And to that, we are just going to add, actually, do you know what? We're going to add the flour first, to be honest. So, just a little note on this one. And to let you all know, if you do decide to purchase one of my syrup sponge, I am not using UK British flour, okay guys? I am actually using, and have been using for quite some time, I use Lyle. I get this in my local mirror market, which is 2 minutes down the road. And if you would notice, to show you up close, this actually states it's for sponge cake. Because the difference when you buy the flour in your local mirror mart, as it should be, the flour is all separated for what you want to use it for. If you want to make sauces, they got a flour for sauces. You want to make flapjacks, they got a flour for that. Because think about it, guys. If you make pasta and you make a cake and you make biscuits, aren't they all different consistency? So how can you be using the same flour? How are you getting a better result with our, gotta be honest, bleached up flour, universal flour that we have on our supermarket shelves? This is not gospel, guys, but I swear to God, this actually, I use a version of this for my pancakes, and I can eat 6 pancakes and not feel bloated and still have, I don't know, burger after. If I make pancakes using our UK universal flour, yeah, I can just about manage maybe 2, and I feel absolutely bloated, I feel sick, and I don't want to eat anymore. But since changing my flour, a lot happier. I'm not weighted down. I don't get that horrible bloated feeling, that horrible full feeling you get that makes you feel really quite off. And I swear it's the flour. So I am using this flour in my sponge puddings. And thank you. Thanks for joining. But yeah, I'm swearing by this. I was really, bless my nana, I would have tried it on her, which was far too well. I swear to God, this is the culprit of most of the gluten-free, most of the gluten causes in our today's society. Don't gospel me on that because I am not a doctor. But think about it, everyone uses flour. Everything has flour in it. And the flour we use is bleached. And flour should not be white. Okay? and flour should not be universal, and it should be different, and it should be different grains, and it should be milled differently. So if you've got the opportunity, like I do, have a look in your local Mirror Mart. Anyway, let's get back to these beautiful syrup sponges. So in here I have 175 grams of flour, along with a bit of nutmeg, and that is going straight in. Do mind me, my KitchenAid needs a service, so I am actually holding it for a minute. I'm just going to actually add half the flour into the bowl. Honestly, this recipe is so easy, and you'll be kicking yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love you to buy it from me. That would be absolutely amazing. But, guys, if you've got family and you want to make it at home, then this is a great way. You can cook 6 at a time in an hour and 15 minutes in a steamer. Plus, the steamer clicks off when it's finished. So you're not going to be wasting energy. You're not going to be topping it up unless that bowl at the bottom empties. After about, I'd say after about 45 minutes, it actually needs topping up. So, in here, just bear with me because I've got to hold my KitchenAid. Yeah, she come a bit loose, you see, and she's hitting the bottom, so she's not mixing as well. Right. Anyway. And we're off. So, if you have got a mixer, if you have got a mixer, I do advise using it. Time, and obviously you get that nice even cut. So I'm just going to add the rest of the flour in. There we go. And as I said, guys, these are going to be available to purchase. So I'm showing you how to make them. I'm showing you how to put them together. Oh, that looks lovely. Bear with me, I'm just going to get my spatula a minute. It's like all the stuff's on the side, so I like to bring that down a bit. So, one spatula. I'll go back here. Ah, dear. Alright. There we are. But yeah, guys, I've got to be honest. I have always had a thing about food as it is. I got known as a fussy child because I swear to God, I can actually taste the difference between the food how it used to taste and how it tastes now. And honestly, when I buy food out of my local meal market, it tastes like how it did when I was young. You know, you remember, it's a bit, okay, the best example was Miller Fruit Corner. How thick were they? Does anyone remember what they were like when they first came out? And then obviously commercialisation, money, everything else gets involved and the product gets made cheaper. And with that, they sort of lose the taste. So guys, if you're feeling that, we do this. This is the way to get that flavour back. Right, last but not least, got our eggs. If you want to have a go at this recipe and you want to try it for yourself, you can find this on my subscription page on Instagram for 99p. So, that's my eggs are wet. Honestly guys, like 5 ingredients. And the only thing that can be a bit costly is if you decide to buy the pots. But apart from that, everything else is okay. Right, excuse the noise. Oh, we're still doing it. Never mind. We're just going to add the egg in. There we are. I'm just going to hold this so it can spin and turn it off. There we go. And once that's mixed in, that is your sponges ready to go. And all I'm going to do, I've got 6 basins. I'm going to fill those with syrup, and we're going to pop them in the steamer and get them going. Oh wow, this actually looks really nice. It's sort of like a really nice light dough, but sort of smooth. Oh, that's lovely. So, I'm going to turn you back round. Here we go. Alright. If you can see that, guys. There we are. Sort of that sort of consistency. Looking quite good. Right, that's the easy part over and done with. I'm going to push this to the side for a minute. Let that drop out. And then, all we're going to do is literally, they are going straight into the steamer. Do recommend you will need a set of scales. We're going to need scales anyway to measure out the ingredients. Always helpful. I've obviously chucked flour everywhere. There we go. So, I just need to get my pots out the dishwasher. I whack them through just to make sure that excuse me. Just to make sure that they're absolutely clean and sterile. You will need some tin foil. I hope I've got some. There we go. Alright. And this is my trusty old steamer. And I've got to be honest, I've had this steamer for, it came with me. God, it's even got QC, it's got pat label and everything on it. So, yeah, obviously I use this in my pub. It's been with me for ages. I never thought I'd use it, and now I'm using it more than ever. Alright, first things first. Using the electric steamer, which I recommend, especially for time and money saving. We better fill her up. I'm literally going to put these together, and then I'm going to kiss you long goodbye, and I'll show you the results later after they finish. But yeah, these will be available on my, if you look on my WhatsApp number that's attached to this link. Oh, thanks for the hugs, and thanks for the hearts, love it. And hi, welcome back. Yeah, if you have a look on my WhatsApp page, they will, as soon as I've taken a photo, they'll be listed on there, so you can buy them through Chutney all year round. If you fancy something different, obviously my Christmas puddings are available, and I'll be getting everything as soon as Chutney all year round is off the ground. So another jug of water. That's what I mean, guys. Look, we're just going to fill this, and that's it. Imagine you cooking these in a pan, and that is where the energy and the variance in time comes. But with the electric steamer, they all cook at the same time. The only time I'm going to put water in it is probably in about 45 minutes time. Just be careful when you put that on, because you want the water coming over. Alright. There we are. Alright. I'm going to get my pots. I'm going to do a couple and get them done. If you've got any questions, just give me a heads up. And as I said, if you do want to have a go at Take Your Lyle recipe, with my little couple of added tweaks, this will be on my Insta page as soon as I finish this video and get it sorted. I'm just going to go get some pots in a minute. Oh, that's much better. There we go. Right, I'm using, these are the size pots, these are £1/2 pots. Personally, I'd eat this to myself. Or you could share it with somebody, it just depends how nice you feel. And a tea towel. Oh, there we go, nice fresh tea towel. Alright, easy peasy bit now. And a spoon, that would be very helpful. Alright, mixes there, looking lovely. We're going to push the rest of that out through there. Alright, if you are on a diet, you don't want to buy these. If you are diabetic, you don't want to buy these. And literally, if you're not trying to cut out the sweet stuff, you don't want to buy these. So, oh, and I've used real butter because obviously I've got white farms down the road from us, so why wouldn't I? And personally, I know a lot of you are on the butter avoidance at the moment, but I'm not, and I like cooking with little English blocks of gold. It just makes everything so nice, and it's just nice to work with. I honestly, I really can't stand that margarine stuff. The taste is just appalling. I really can't be dealing with that. Alright, there we are. So that's that done. Alright, first thing, we better add the syrup, because that's the tasty bit. I'm going to use about 55 grams of syrup per tub. And just pop you down there, you can you see. There we are. You can see what we're doing. Alright, let's turn it back on the units. Grams, come on. I actually have to buy myself a new set of scales. I want to make a cake and they just packed up. However, they were 25 years old, so it's to be expected. Alright, now how do you do this? You always end up sticky and messy. Right. Easy. You get your syrup. It looks like a lot. It really does. That is, you got like 5 grams too much, but never mind. Right. So that, you want it nice on the bottom. And all we're going to do, if I remember correctly, spare, is, let's have a look. We don't want them too high, because we don't want them to, I want them to lift, but obviously I need to put a lid on afterwards. I'll get rid of this. Oh, you silly. Ah, off. There we are. Alright, so that's that. We're just going to get a bit of the mixture. And we can spoon that on top. Alright, reset that. Oh, it looks really nice. It's a really nice batter mixture. There we go. So we want to keep it just under the line. And what I tend to do is give this a couple of spoonfuls and then do the same amount with the others and then get them all level. So I think that works out more. Because it depends on the type of flour you use, the absorbency of it, and how loose your batter is going to be. So, do you know what, I'm going to get another spoon. That would be helpful. There we are. I'm going to get another spoon. Oh, there we go. I actually think one more for that. As I said, guys, they take an hour and 15. So if you wanted something sweet for, like, I don't know, you do a Sunday dinner or something, and you want something nice and sweet just after, these are so easy to put together and so cheap. You know, and the best thing is, you can always use the basins that you get free with other puddings and stuff. You keep hold of them. Therefore, you can do exactly the same with those, just slightly smaller. Right, so that's 3 spoons just in there like that. I'm going to carry on do this because this is going to be actually really boring for you guys. My hands are really sticky as well, and I want to clear my kitchen site down a bit. I'm going to get back to you and let you know how. There we go. I'm going to get back to you and let you know how I get on, but I'm going to love and leave you and get these on and going. And I'll come back to you when I've finished and cleared up this awful mess. I really thank you for joining me. if you fancy having a go, again, it will be my recipe will be on my Instagram subscription page. Or if you fancy supporting me and fancy giving them a go for yourself, you can purchase them through Chutney all year round. And as I said, WhatsApp number is in the bio. So I really do appreciate you for joining. And I do like to say thank you, and I appreciate you for giving me your time. There we go. We got me words out. So I'll see you later. I'm going to carry on filling these, and I'm going to get them going, and I'll come back when they're done. Thank you for joining. Cheers, guys. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you later. Bye.